Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to week 3 of my London Marathon training series. So it's week 3 now, and we're really getting into the base building phase, just knuckling down, trying to build the mileage, trying to build my fitness. Nothing too crazy, just easy running, lots of easy running commuting to work, and just generally just trying to build that fitness up before we get into more specific stuff come February and March. And before I discuss my goals for the week, I thought I'd just quickly recap on week 2 so we know where we're at. So week 2, I did 51 miles for the week. My long run was 12 miles. My Strava fitness, it was a score of 72. Any injuries or niggles? I had a little issue with my calf, so got to keep an eye on that. It was playing up towards the end of last week, so just niggling, nothing too crazy, just niggling a bit. So just have to keep an eye on that. And my body weight was 71.6 kilos, which is pretty top end for me, to be honest. Race weight's normally about 65, 66, so I'm carrying a bit of timber. So we're going to try and get that down over the coming weeks. So with all that in mind, my goals for week 3 then is to basically improve all those statistics. So I want to, for my weekly mileage, 55 miles. I'm not too fussed about my body weight, but I would like to get it down. It's starting to go in the wrong direction, so I need to start getting it down. If I could get it below 70, that would be good. My Strava fitness, again, that will just be what it is. So I'll just keep an eye on that, but hopefully that will go in the right direction, get a bit higher. It should get to about 100 or so come end of April when I'm ready for the marathon. My long run, I'm going to do 14 miles this week. So it was 12 last week, 10 the week before. Just going to build. So 14 miles, just nice and easy. And injuries, yeah, just try and just address that calf issue at the end of last week and just try and keep that at bay, really. So those are my goals for week 3. So as we jump into Monday, Monday starts with a morning commute to work. It's 5.5 miles in, 5.5 miles out. In the morning, you get some cracking sunrises. There's like all the colours you can imagine, like oranges and yellows and all sorts. I often have to stop and take a photo, but they're just lovely sunrises. And then on the way back, I come back and it's a head torch job. Sunset is still, well, the sun has set by the time I finish work, so it's head torch. It's not very nice. I'd much prefer the run into work than the run out of work. Same again with the commute on Tuesday, although it was a bit of a cloudy day on Tuesday, so there was no nice sunrise, I'm afraid, so I just got my head down and got on with it. But the good news was they finally opened the swing bridge. This little bridge has been shut for a few months. It means I've had to go the long way around. So although it's extra miles, I just want to sort of like get in, don't I, in the morning. So it's nice to get that swing bridge back open and I can sort of take the shortcut route through. And then Wednesday, I started a commute, but it was a bit of a disaster. I got sort of half a mile or so down the road, realised I'd forgotten a work shirt. I was running late anyway, so I had to run back. By the time I got back, I knew I wouldn't be able to run to work to get to work in time. So I thought, oh, flipping hell. So I decided to do a little run around Braunton. I got about 3 miles in or something like that. And then I took the car, drove in. And then I managed to drive home. So because I didn't do the commute, I thought, well, I can go to track club. There's a track club hosted every Wednesday in Braunton, so under the floodlights. So I thought, well, let's take the opportunity to go and do that. I will do that more as the sort of weeks progress, but I haven't been for about a month. And to be honest, it showed. We did reps of 400s and 800s, and I'm aiming for about under 520 pace for them, but I felt heavy, I felt sluggish. I had lots of layers on because it was a really cold night, and at 71 and a half kilos, I felt heavy. I got the set done, it was some good reps, and 238, 239 for the 800s, and 73, 74s for the 400s. But I didn't, when you just don't feel nimble. That was me. I just felt heavy and sluggish. Thursday was a rest day because I needed the car. I had to go over to Bideford to see the dentist. So that meant I basically didn't run commute. So I took Thursday off. And then Friday was back on the commute. So again, another 11 miles on the Friday. Half day on a Friday. So I get to come home in the daylight, which is like such an added bonus. And I noticed looking at my Strava that the pace, it gets down to about 7:15. So when I'm running around in the dark, it's like 7:30, 7:45. But in the light, it seems to make so much difference. And otherwise, also, I just enjoy it. It's so much easier running in the light. I struggle with the dark. It's just like, it's horrible. I don't like it. But you got to do it, haven't you? So And then Saturday was a long run day, so we'll pick up the action there.
Good morning. It's long run day, Saturday. Plan for today is 14 miles, nice and easy, nothing lower than a 7. Or I get the first 10 miles in over 7-minute miling, and then if I fancy it for the last 4, maybe I can dip under 7, but I just want to go nice and easy today. Down here on the American road, lovely down here, see lots of wildlife, cattle and rabbits and stuff, and if you get up really early you'll see deer and foxes and things like that. So just a nice steady easy one, American road, Crow Point, and we'll do 14 miles, and yeah, just nice and easy, just building on the mileage from last week. Last week was 12 for my long run, so now it's 14, so we're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger each week. So let's get on with it.
So I was out on a 14-mile run, and I felt amazing for this run. I don't really know why. There's a couple of reasons why I think it could be. One, I haven't got the backpack on, so I'm not lugging that around like I am for the rest of my runs, so I feel like light and nimble. But I promised myself on the run I wouldn't go anything under a 7-minute mile, because I just want to do easy running. But I did sort of say if I felt like doing something a bit crazier towards the end, then I would. And I was struggling to stay over 7s, to be honest. It just felt really good. I just wanted to go. So come the end, last sort of 4 or 5 miles, that I basically decided to unleash the reins and put the hammer down. We got down to about 6:25 pace. So I just felt really good and I just wanted to fly. I'll talk a little bit about my fueling on my long runs. I don't really fuel, to be honest, not in these early stages. If I do say anything like 18, 20 miles, then I will fuel a bit better. But anything up to about 16 miles, I don't really fuel. I don't have breakfast. I'll have a coffee, but I don't have any breakfast. And I don't really get too excited about carb loading the night before. And I certainly don't have any gels. And the reason for this is it works really well for me. The whole way to build your endurance is to get your body to tap into its fat stores. So if I'm fully carved up, when I go out from a long run, I would basically just using all that as my fuel. Whereas if I go out a bit depleted and say on an empty stomach, I run through my glycogen and my carb stores pretty quickly. So my body starts looking for fat sooner rather than later. And I just find I get those adaptations that you would get for a long 20-mile run. I can get them in a sort of a 12 or a 14 because my body's going, I need fuel, and it's looking for fat stores. And that's how we build our endurance, is basically it's being efficient with your carbs, your glycogen stores, and using them sort of sparingly, and using body fat as a store of fuel. And that's what the long run's all about. So I find that if I do these depleted, then yeah, they make them harder. Of course they do. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of carbs. Like I say, I will have lots of carbs towards the end of the cycle. Particularly if I'm doing like some big sets, like 3 by 5 miles, something like that, I will put a gel in. And gels are also quite good, just get your stomach used to it, because you're going to do it on race day. But the other benefit is, I think if I can learn to do my long runs without much fueling, not many carbs, I don't drink anything out there, so if I can do it dehydrated, no gels, no carbs, no nothing, when it comes to race day, and I've got gels, I'm carb loaded, I've got drinks, I just feel amazing, because I'm already used to not having any of that, and then if you give it to me on top, it's like, I'm buzzing. So it just seems to work really well for me. So it's food for thought.
So there we are, there's the long run done. 14 miles in 1:37, average of 6:57 pace. I promised myself at the start that for the first 10 miles I wouldn't go below 7 minutes per mile. And to be honest, I was feeling really, really good, and I was trying not to go under. And then I did go under on the 10th mile, and then with 4 miles to go, I let the reins off and just let myself go for it. So the last sort of 4 miles was a bit of a tempo effort, about 6:30, 6:25 pace, something like that. So a bit of a tough end, but good 14 miles successfully done. I think that's now 55 or 56 for the week. So really good training week.
So there we are, guys, another training week done. Forgive the coat, it's freezing out in my garage. I've got sort of a studio, summer house garage kind of gym, and it's cold out here, so I've got my coat on. I'll just talk through the week. the stats were, the week was pretty good. The mileage was 56, so I'm happy with that. The goal was 55. I got 56, that's fine. So it's just getting better and better each week. 51 the week before, 40 something the week before that. So 56. My body weight was 70.5 kilos. That's before my long run. So that's come down nearly a kilo. Now that could be anything. That could be water weight, big dinner, who knows? But it's heading in the right direction. So I want to get it under 70 for a start. Strava Fitness, that's gone to 73. It was 72 last week. It's gone up 1. So again, take it with a pinch of salt. It's just a sort of a reading that they do from your heart rate, your perceived effort, and that kind of stuff. But it's heading in the right direction, if slowly. So yeah, that's all right. My long run was 14 miles, so that's gone up again. And I should I'm not really sure what I'll do next weekend, because next weekend I've got a race. So that's a 10 miler. So 2 mile warm up, 10 mile. I'm probably a bit too lazy to do a cool down, but if I can do a cool down and make, say, 14 miles of the day, then great. But not really sure yet, a bit undecided. So there won't be a long run, but so there'll be the race, but we'll see. And then injuries. Well, I came into the week with a bit of a niggly calf. I've not felt anything all week, so I'm really happy about that. Doesn't mean it's gone away. I've been wearing my calf sleeves just to keep it at bay, but I do have to be careful. And I have to be careful with the cold mornings, because that's when it will go. That's when it went last year, and that's when it's most at risk. I get out of bed, and bang, I'm straight to running. Cold morning, my body's cold, and it's just risky. But so far, end of week 3, no injuries. So we'll have a good week next week, and try and get the mileage high, and then the race at the weekend. The race at the weekend, it's the Brompton 10 miler. It's a hilly course, and it's all right. I'll give it a hard effort, but it's not overly serious. It's what I call an off-season race. So I like to target races in the spring and in the autumn, and then anything in the summer or the winter is basically an off-season one. So I'm too heavy to set a PB or any of that business. So I'll just go and race, and we'll film some stuff and see how we get on. So I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, that's the end of week 3. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this content, please do me a massive favour and like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next week.